The escape pod crashed into the forest with a thunderous boom that shook the trees for miles around. Jake stumbled through the thick woods drawn by the strange blue light that cut through the darkness like a beacon. His heart pounded as he pushed, past the broken branches and smoking debris. What he found changed everything. A girl lay unconscious beside the twisted metal wreckage. Her skin held a soft silver shimmer that caught the moonlight like star water. Her hair flowed in waves of deep purple that seemed to move on their own even in the still night air. She was beautiful in a way that made his breath catch, but there was something clearly not human about her. Jake knelt beside her, checking for injuries. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing irises that swirled with galaxies of silver and gold. She looked up at him with fear and confusion written across her delicate features. "Please do not hurt me," she whispered in accented English that sounded like music. "I mean no harm to your people." "Hey, it's okay," Jake said gently, helping her sit up. "I won't hurt you. Are you injured?" She touched her forehead where a thin line of luminescent blue blood trickled down. "My name is Zara. I am from the Valdarian fleet." She paused, studying his face. "You are human?" "Yeah, I'm Jake." He offered her his jacket. "What happened to your ship?" Zara pulled the jacket around her shoulders, grateful for its warmth. "I was escaping my own people. They want to invade your world, but I discovered something terrible about their plans." Her voice trembled. "I stole information and fled, but they shot me down." Jake felt ice form in his stomach. "Invade Earth." "Yes." Zara struggled to stand, and Jake helped support her weight. "The Valdarian Empire has been watching your species for decades. They believe humans are weak and primitive. But I have studied your people. I have watched your movies, learned your languages, read your books." Her eyes blazed with conviction. "Humans are not weak. You are fierce and loyal, and brave in ways my people cannot understand." In the distance, the sound of engines rumbled through the night sky. Zara grabbed Jake's arm with surprising strength. "They are coming for me. If they find me, they will take me back, and your world will burn within days. Then we need to get you somewhere safe," Jake said without hesitation. "I know these woods better than anyone." Zara stared at him in amazement. "You would help me? Why would you trust an alien who just told you her people want to destroy yours?" "Because you risked everything to warn us," Jake replied. "That tells me everything I need to know about who you really are." They moved quickly through the forest, Jake leading them along hidden paths he had explored since childhood. Zara moved with inhuman grace despite her injuries, but he could see exhaustion wearing her down. The alien search ships passed overhead, their bright searchlights cutting through the trees like silver knives. "Tell me about these plans," Jake said, as they reached a small cave hidden behind a waterfall. "What makes them think they can defeat humanity?" Zara activated a small device from her crashed pod. A holographic display showed star maps and military formations. "The Valdarian fleet has 1,000 ships, each capable of destroying entire cities. They plan to strike your major population centers simultaneously, believing your governments will surrender immediately to save civilian lives." Jake studied the display, feeling anger build in his chest. "They don't know us very well, do they?" "That is what I tried to tell them," Zara said with a bitter smile. "I showed them your history, your wars, your willingness to fight impossible odds to protect what you love. They called me weak for admiring such primitive emotions." "Primitive emotions," Jake repeated. "Like what?" "Love, loyalty, sacrifice." Zara met his eyes. "Things my people bred out of themselves long ago in the name of efficiency. They see emotions as weakness, but I have learned they are your greatest strength." The sound of footsteps echoed outside the cave. Zara tensed, pressing herself against the rock wall. "Valdarian ground forces," she whispered. "They found my trail." Jake moved to the cave entrance, peering through the falling water. 3 figures in advanced armor moved through the forest. Their movements were too precise, too calculated to be human. Purple energy weapons glowed in their hands as they scanned the area. "Zara of House Meridian," one of them called, out in a voice like grinding metal. "By order of the High Command, you will return to the fleet immediately. Your crimes against the Empire demand judgment." Zara stepped toward the cave mouth, but Jake blocked her path. "What crimes?" he asked quietly. "I'm considered a traitor," she said. "For refusing to participate in the invasion, for stealing military secrets, and now for accepting help from a human." She looked at him with something like wonder. "My people would see our friendship as the ultimate betrayal." "Friendship?" Jake smiled grimly. "Is that what this is? I do not know your human word for someone willing to die for a stranger," Zara replied. "But yes, I believe friendship comes close." The Valdarian soldiers were getting closer. Their scanners beeped steadily as they tracked Zara's energy signature. Jake made a decision that surprised even himself. "Stay here," he told Zara. Then stepped out from behind the waterfall. The three aliens immediately raised their weapons. Jake raised his hands, but kept his voice steady. "You looking for someone?" Human, the lead Valdarian, spoke with contempt. "You have encountered the fugitive Zara. Where is she?" "Never heard that name." Jake lied smoothly. "But I saw something crash about 2 miles north of here, looked like debris scattered all over. Maybe that's what you're looking for." The aliens exchanged glances through their helmet displays. Jake could see them scanning him with their technology, but he forced himself to remain calm. "You are attempting deception," the leader said. "Our instruments detect her presence in this immediate area." "Then your instruments are broken," Jake replied, "because I'm the only one here." Behind the waterfall, Zara watched in amazement as this human she had known for mere hours stood between her and 3 of the Empire's most elite soldiers. He had no weapons, no armor, no chance of survival if they decided to eliminate him. Yet he stood firm, protecting her without hesitation. The lead Valdarian stepped closer to Jake. "You realize that harboring an enemy of the Empire is punishable by immediate execution?" "Lucky for me, I don't know what you're talking about," Jake said. "Your species' primitive loyalty will be your downfall," the alien said with disgust. "When our fleet arrives, your people will learn the price of such foolishness." "Maybe," Jake said. "Or maybe you'll learn that underestimating humans is a really bad idea." The Valdarian raised his weapon, but before he could fire, Zara emerged from the cave. Her hands glowed with the same purple energy as their weapons, but brighter, more intense. "Stand down, Commander Vex," she ordered. "This human is under my protection. You dare claim protection rights over an inferior species?" Vex snarled. "You have fallen further than we imagined. I have risen higher than you will ever understand," Zara replied. Her power flared, creating a barrier of light between the soldiers and Jake. "This human showed me more honor in 1 hour than the Empire has shown in centuries." "Enough." Vex signaled his men, "Take her." What happened next would be talked about in Valdarian military academies for generations. Zara fought like nothing they had ever seen. Her movements flowed like water but struck like lightning. She used not just her advanced training, but something they had forgotten: how to access the fierce protective instinct that comes from caring about someone other than yourself. When the battle ended, all 3 soldiers lay unconscious in the forest. Zara stood over them, breathing hard. Jake approached cautiously, amazed by what he had witnessed. "That was incredible," he said. "I had no idea you could fight like that." "Neither did I," Zara admitted. "I have never fought to protect someone else before it felt different, stronger." Jake looked at the defeated soldiers. "What happens now?" Zara knelt and activated one of their communication devices. "Now I send a message to my fleet." She looked up at Jake with determination burning in her galactic eyes. "I tell them that if they attack Earth, they will not be fighting primitive humans. They will be fighting humans with a Valdarian ally who knows all their weaknesses. You would really turn against your own people for us." "My people stopped being my people the moment they decided to destroy something beautiful out of fear and pride," Zara said. "Humanity may not be perfect, but you have something the Empire lost long ago. You have hearts that care about others more than yourselves." Jake helped her to her feet. "So what do? We prepare your world for war," Zara said. "But not the war the Empire expects. They think they will face scattered governments and frightened civilians. Instead, they will face something they cannot comprehend. A species that fights not just for survival but for love." As they walked back toward civilization, Jake realized that finding Zara in those woods had changed more than just his life. It had changed the fate of two worlds. The girl who fell from the stars had chosen humanity over her empire, and that choice would echo across the galaxy. The invasion fleet waited in dark space preparing to strike. But they would find Earth defended not just by human courage, but by one of their own who had learned that some things are worth betraying everything you once believed. Zara looked up at the stars where her former people waited. She had made her choice. Now it was time to show both species what that choice really meant. The war for Earth was coming, but this time humanity would not face it alone.